Today in the crypto space, we see the market holding steady right around 102,000 for Bitcoin, Ethereum right around 3,200, and the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, some of them getting a bit of a bounce at a very desperate moment. XRP looking okay, Hyperliquid, Ondo, Tau, Move getting a bounce, and a few others. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project that is part of a narrative that has been buzzing, and of course, that project is called Virtuals. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is, it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with this market. We do see that the overall market cap is still in a downtrend here, guys. I know that we're up approximately 1.7%, but you can see that we're still making lower lows and lower highs. And I think this is what's spooking the market, is that ultimately we are seeing that it's not making a higher high right now and maybe rolling over. And we're seeing a lot of the micro caps, the smaller cap projects, especially the ones that belong to the AI agents narrative, are definitely rolling over. Right? Speculation, risk on, those are the ones that are going to sell off when Bitcoin, or the total market cap in this case, starts to look a little bit bearish. And as we are rolling over, and as we kind of, are looking a bit weak with this little rounded top here, we're seeing the trading volume dip. And I like the fact that when we got this little rally up, we did see the trading volume rise, which is quite interesting, because ultimately, this is what we want to see. We want to see trading volume rise. At the same time, we want to see price rise. Unfortunately, we're in a downtrend. Okay, so far here on the lower time frames. Remember, these fractals right here represent the 1 hour time frame, so we got to take it, from that perspective. Ultimately, the market is okay, but the lower cap, the micro caps, the AI agents are bleeding out, guys. Very unfortunate times for those narratives within that narrative and for that part of the market. But ultimately, what we're waiting for is for an altcoin season. Is this going to be the last shakeout before this happens, guys? Let's see what's going on here with the top 100. Then we'll take a look at Bitcoin as a leading indicator. Then we'll jump into the virtuals chart and come up with a plan. What do we expect, right? And of course, the agents and their platforms or their launch pads are all kind of suffering right now. We're talking about virtuals, Wayfood, Top Hat, many others. They're kind of suffering, and we'll get into the narrative. We'll talk about their narrative just a bit in a second. Let's see what's going on here. Little V recoveries everywhere. Bitcoin V recovery, XRP beautiful recovery. We got BNB nice recovery, and then recovery for some, but then rollover. Recovery, rollover. And you can see that these fractals are almost identical across the market. Look at this. Little recovery, rollover. And again, over and over and over, stamped out, almost identical across the entire market. Top 100 is looking like it's making a rollover, a dead cat bounce for continuation to the downside, guys. Not looking good. And of course, Move is right now is definitely moving. It's moving. It's up 15%. Congrats. That's great. Awesome stuff. But remember, that's a deviation. That is a random anomaly. Well, the rest of the market is suffering. We have a few like Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter's doing pretty good. We talked about the Jupiter narrative, the Sosa Live on Saturday. And it was a great time to enter, because literally the next morning it started flying, doing pretty good. It's up 13.6% for the day. But if you look at every Solana project, it's pretty much doing good as well. So keep that in mind. Solana in general as a chain and its ecosystem is doing pretty good. And those are the two major ones that have been showing strength today, Move and Jupiter. And Solana based, a few are doing great as well. And this is it, guys. This is the question. Do we get risk on? Do we start getting into positions? Do we start buying dips? Do we start using leverage again? And it's starting to get a little bit scary out there and a lot of emotions. However, the downtrend still persists. This is the problem, guys. Don't try to catch the bottom. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin, and then we'll jump right into the virtuals chart. I just want to use Bitcoin as an indicator, because if Bitcoin keeps on showing weakness, we're going to see the altcoins continue to bleed out. And what's very important here for Bitcoin is that it holds steady right around $102,000. Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. So what we can see is that literally this rounded top doesn't look good. It got rejected off this diagonal stemming from right around here, which, you know, connected many bottoms and a few tops. And here we are getting rejected and pulling back. Now, we definitely need to hold above $102,000. Okay, guys, that for me is a big zone, right? Because ultimately, right around this level, we have horizontal supports. We got tops. We got a little bit of a volume gap that we kind of filled a little bit right here with this price action. And you can see the battle is right there. I've been calling 102,000 for a good while, even previous to this consolidation, and I feel like it's still a very valid level to expect a battle to happen, and we're battling it out right now. Maybe you can't see it on the daily. You can kind of see the battle right now in the last 2 days, but if you go on the 4-hour, guys, you can see what's really happening here for Bitcoin. In fact, is this going to be a rejection at 102, or is it going to be a support? We're right now battling it out right at that zone, right? We break above, we backtest, we spring, great. We don't break above, we get to this level and we get rejected, we roll over, and it's a confirmation of a lower high. We come down for another lower low, and guess what, guys? Lower prices, here we come, and it's not just for Bitcoin. It's for the entire crypto space. A lot of us don't want to think about that. A lot of us don't want to believe that this is possible, but the reality is we need to be prepared either way for all the possibilities, up, down, bearish or bullish. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, what are you going to do about it if it does come down here? Personally speaking, I have been focusing on raising capital for the last week and a half, right? So I did deploy right into this level, and unfortunately, I deployed into the agent's narrative. And unfortunately, why I say that is because the agent's narrative has been dying out pretty badly lately. Now, I don't think it's over for the narrative. I just feel like maybe the market, is considering it super risky at the current moment, especially as Bitcoin gets rejected here. It could be that maybe it was really hyped up and overvalued in the short term, which is very possible, especially with new narratives. That's generally what happens. The thing is that in coordinates with the time frame that we're in, given that the altcoin season could happen any moment, and a Bitcoin run to 120K, 150K, 175K could happen very, very quickly. Taking a bit of risk around these times is absolutely acceptable and valid. Right? You're not taking this type of risk in a bear market. You're not taking this type of risk in a bear market bottom, sideways price action. You're taking this type of risk in a, potential bull run. So it's understood that you're going to take extra risk and you're going to put yourself out there a little bit more. And the key here is to always deploy bit by bit, especially your first entries. And I'm happy about the fact that I got into the agent's narrative. I'm not happy about the portfolio looking that way, but I am happy that I have my exposure there, right? Because a V recovery will definitely put me back into quick profits, but we have to understand that those projects, they're small market cap. And if Bitcoin shows weakness, and as you can see, Bitcoin right now in the short term, based on the 4-hour time frame, we're making lower lows and lower highs. It is showing weakness, and the risk on assets are the ones to sell off first. Unfortunately, but that's the case. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. The major question is, do we stay and hold and close a daily candle tonight at 102K, or are we closing below and potentially coming down for a lower low? Guys, join me live tonight at 8 p.m. EST. We'll talk about crypto news and price action. I take requests. We look at charts. We look at setups. We talk about the sentiment. We prepare for days to come in order to capitalize on this market. All right, guys. So Bitcoin right now, as momentum keeps on shifting to the downside, as you can see here on the 4-hour, we did get oversold, and it's likely, maybe we come down for another touch here on the 4-hour for oversold conditions. I think the daily might be a little bit more interesting, because really, are we going to literally come down after some sideways price action, in fact, a higher on the momentum, and come down and get oversold? Are we actually going to do that here, guys? you know, volatility is already oversold. Let me get rid of this artwork here for a second. You see the orange line in the background right there? That's volatility line. That's a line that shows us how volatile the market could be, and it resets very frequently, whereas momentum right now is in the chop zone. The reality is, you know, if you're going to get into long positions, wait for the volatility to get completely oversold. The problem is that we're in a bit of an uptrend as well here, right here, as you can see, right? This was higher, and do we make another higher one? To the point that, you know, maybe it's a full reset already. This market is causing us to really second guess our TA. It's not a very easy you know, trading range, to be honest, because we're definitely seeing signs of manipulation, and especially with the altcoins not really doing anything, and ultimately seeing them back into bear market bottoms for some of them. It's really ugly out there. If you look at the trend oscillator here on the daily time frame did get a cross to the downside, one red histogram bar, which is not a good look for trend oscillator. Okay, so the daily is keeping me on my toes. The 4 hour is confusing the crap out of me. The altcoins are depressing the market, and my portfolio looks like crap. But ultimately, guys, we need to stick around here, guys. We need to stick around, because ultimately what we need to do is prepare for the next leg. The bears had their moment. Now we got to wait for the bullish response. The bullish response doesn't have to be a higher high, but it definitely doesn't have to be this low. And reality is Bitcoin is still doing fine. Bitcoin is still doing fine. If you're getting into fresh entries right now, I feel your pain. The thing is that you got to understand is that the bear market was about 2 years ago, more. And the reality is a lot of people did get in that early. And we have to understand that some people earn some profit, and they're going to take profit right now, regardless, especially as Bitcoin shows this type of weakness right here at $105,000. That's quite amazing to see Bitcoin at that level. Okay, so keep that all in mind. Let's jump right into the virtuals chart. So now that we know that Bitcoin is showing short-term weakness, now that we can apply this concept to virtuals, we know virtuals market cap is not that massive. It's not that big. Okay, let's quickly, because I don't remember what it is. Let's just quickly look it up, because I want to be accurate about what we could expect from virtuals with regards to market cap. We're talking about $1.2 billion market cap. In my opinion, I think that's still overvalued. That's my opinion. Okay, so, and because I understand how these launch pads work. Okay, so right now what I see here is a clear downtrend. It looks like a clear ABC correction to the downside. We see a clear extension right now, probably down to the 1.27, right down very close to the 1.27. As you can see, we could come down to the 1.27. We can come down to the 1.618. And as you keep on looking at this chart and at the way the price action is moving, the question is it going to respect previous price action and levels of volume? You know, the order blocks right here are clear. Look at this. And it's not even that there's that much volume. The question is, do the bears have enough strength to chip away at this and ultimately get these people to capitulate? That is the question. So if at this order block we can get some support at the 1.27, yeah, sure, I will look for a change of direction. I want to see a pivot point structure. I want to see a bullish divergence. I want to see something that shows me that it's safe to start taking risk again in some of this, because today virtuals is down another 8.5%, which is significant here, guys. Okay, so a little bit more, or show me structure. Really, what gets me most excited is liquidity zones. This, obviously, this order block, let's get them wrecked. Let's see if we can hold that support. But unfortunately, guys, the next zone, all the way down here at 50 cents is where we could see the next emotional level, very confluent with the 1.618 extension. Maybe we come down here, maybe create our pattern right around this level, and ultimately hold the support here. I am not buying anything, especially micro caps or even AI agents, because I'm already well deployed. I already have capital. Unfortunately, it's underwater, but I have to be patient here because I don't want to run out of capital. I know a lot of you guys are in the same boat, is that if you keep on buying dips, every little dippity dip, what happens is you're going to run out of capital. So we got to be very clear as to how we deploy our capital, and it's level to level and structure to structure. Are we getting a structure right now? No. We're not, so we got to wait. But we are at a good level to anticipate one. So keep an eye on it. $1.95 could be a structural support zone. Let's get the pivot. Let's get the evidence of the structure and get that confluence to give us confidence to obviously start deploying capital and buying the dip. Guys, if I've offered you any value here, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.